So we are back. We're talking about New Japan Pro Wrestling Sakura Genesis. Number 1, 2 thumbs up show.
Yeah.
This was a great show.
Yeah.
I mean, even the tag team matches were fun.
Yeah.
Well-paced, well-timed, and those title matches were amazing. So let's talk about the first match. I don't have a graphic for it, but this was to like promote some sort of company or something. Mm-hmm. It was Minoru Suzuki, the Great Okan, and Toru Yano taking on El Desperado, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Youh.
It was kind of weird.
Very confusing, but I do like that one of the teams, both guys, Minoru Suzuki and Great Okan, don't like Toru Yano, and Yano, they really played into that quite well. Yeah. It was just a fun match. Yeah. The crowd was super into it. It was just a lot of fun. And it was a low blow roll up, obviously on Hiroshi for Toru Yano to win. That's what I love about New Japan is that they can have literally anybody beat anybody, right. And I'm like, I get it. Right. That's fine.
Put these 3 people into this, and it's just like, okay,
right. And it's super weird. It's like that's Hiroshi Tanahashi and Minoru Suzuki and El Desperado, some of the top ones, but yet Toru Yano is the person who beats them.
Right.
But I think Toru moves merch.
Yeah, he does.
I feel like he moves merch. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about our next match, which was the House of Torture, Evil, Sho, and Yujiro Takahashi taking on the United Empires, Aaron Henare, Francesco Akira, and Jeff Cobb. The match gets a thumbs up.
Yeah.
I love the commentators when they were saying certain things. They're making House of Torture match a drinking game.
Right.
So they're like, oh, they're doing this. Drink. It's like, oh my God, if you really want to destroy your liver, be my guest.
Exactly.
Do you have any other opinions about the House of Torture? Because they're starting to develop a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of floundered, and I'm liking that they're starting to slowly but surely come back.
Yeah, I think so, too.
Like 2022 was just not their year.
No.
2023, though, I feel a little more confident in their ability to kind of stand out.
Yeah, and I think matches like this are really going to help them out more.
And I like House of Torture, but, 2020 was great, 2021, 2022, they just kind of fell off the face of the planet.
Here's the issue with New Japan, and I think it's just for the lack of understanding of how to book heel, like true heel. The House of Torture were basically supposed to be Bullet Club 2.0,
right? But
the issue is that people just not gravitate towards them because there really wasn't anybody there that they just really were ready to put behind. They put the titles on Evil when he won them in 2020 because they just reopened up and they wanted to get a big time talking point going because it was right out of pandemic. Right. If they kept Evil on that same wavelength of just main eventer, we might be talking a different conversation here.
Right, and see, that's the issue. That's what House of Torture went through. But yeah, they are starting to make a comeback, so I really do appreciate that.
Yep, and it was the United Empire to win with the Tour of the Islands. So overall, I liked the match. It was a fun one. So, just 5 guys taking on Los Ingobernables de Japón. It was.
And see, this is what I like to see because, again, think about the main event with Sonata joining just 5 guys, but the other members are now going after the former team of Sonata.
Right, and they really emphasize that quite a bit here. I mean, especially with a new group, you gotta hit hard with a bunch of matches. And, you have Yoshinobu Kanemaru challenging Hiromu for the junior heavyweight champion sometime, I think, right before Dontaku. Yeah. Because Hiromu's going for the heavyweight champion, whoever it was at this time. But you gotta have another credible challenger in the juniors within a faction.
Right.
And obviously...
And Kanemaru is filling that role quite nicely.
Yep. New gear change. There was a different flow with just 5 guys, and they actually won. It was an impressive match, and it was a figure 4 leg lock for Kanemaru to actually get the win. So once again, he is showcased to win the match.
Right.
Putting him on a different level, on a different showcase, and that's all well and good. By the way, gets a thumbs up. I like this. Good pacing on it. Nobody looked bad.
Yep.
It was all good. Kind of a weird one. David Finlay, El Phantasmo, and Kenta taking on Gorillas of Destinies, Hikuleo, Tamatonga, and Master Wado. Orange Cassidy, thumbs up.
Yeah,
but
this is kind of a weird...
But the ending part was a full thumbs up.
Well, yeah, because of the betrayal.
Well, the betrayal was done so well.
It was.
The match It was fun. I liked...
The match was kind of odd to me. It was because, a lot of these teams are just like, it's like, Tama Tonga. You don't expect Tonga Loa to be there too, but it's like...
Here's Master Wado.
Right.
It was a weird choice for Master Wado, but I think Tonga Loa still hurt.
Yeah.
And also, El Phantasmo was acting a little bit differently because he was kicked out of the club.
Right.
And David Finlay, I like his intention of saying, since I'm the new leader, back me, and we're going to make this club more serious again. And I think Bullet Club really needs that right now.
Yes.
They need to be taken seriously because House of Torture are more House of Torture than Bullet Club.
Yeah, they are. At this point in time, they're just doing their own thing.
But they're still technically a subgroup.
Right.
But we need to see that Bullet Club moniker back to a serious light. And as so far, there hasn't been like a credible challenger within Bullet Club.
Well, Bullet Club is losing. They were hemorrhaging a lot of members as well. So.
Well, no, Jay White and Juice Robinson, they are actually Bullet Club still.
Oh, they are.
They're called Bullet Club Gold. Because they're in AEW. So it's an American faction. So I'm okay with that. But I think David Finlay being the overseer of all of it and putting him on a different wavelength, I think is going to be really good.
Yeah.
It's really helping him out a lot. It was CR2 for Bullet Club to win. Then Finlay and Phantasmo started to really fight, and I was really digging it. Then Kenta Betrayal and Taichi Ishimori's betrayal and El Phantasmo basically really said he's out.
Right.
Because Taichi and Phantasmo, former junior heavyweight tag team champions, Bullet Club's cutest tag team.
Right.
So that really cemented of where's Phantasmo going to go?
Right. And who knows?
Just 6 guys. So there you go. So it all just really worked. All of these multi-mans had a purpose, and that's what I really liked about them.
Yeah, it was really good. And no old guys either.
And no, exactly. It felt fresh.
Yeah.
It felt different.
Yeah,
and it was a nice breath of fresh air. There we go. Anyway, let's go into our first title match. 2 thumbs up.
Yep.
Mercedes Mone defending her for the first time the IWGP Women's Champion against Hazuki in AZM.
I thought it was just... Well, see, at first I thought it was just going to be AZM versus Mone. Yeah, no, I think there was contention on where that was. Yep.
But overall, it was a fun match. I'm going to give it only a 1 thumb up on this because I think in a way it kind of dragged...
2 thumbs up, but...
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, well... You know, I'm gonna give it a thumbs up and an Orange Cassidy thumbs up.
Okay,
there we go. Because I think, well, as I was thinking about it, I'm like, there were parts where I think they should have ended the match, but it just kind of kept dragging.
Well, again, I don't think New Japan is very good at booking triple threat matches. So.
Right, and also there were parts where this match went way too fast. It was like boom, 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 like whoa, 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 and that's not because I was watching this at 2x speed. It was because literally. Move. Like, geez, man, you need to slow it down a little bit. I can't process information that quickly, even if I was watching this at regular speed. So, Mone won with the Moneymaker, and I can't remember who was the one who was challenging her, but she's defending it at Queendom in a couple of weeks. And
I can't remember who her opponent is either.
We will be covering that show. I think it is Taiyu, but I could be incorrect on that. And there was a chance. Anyway, for the... NJPW World Television Champion Zack Sabre Jr. and Shota Unimo. I'm going to give this one only a thumbs up on this one. I think Shota should have won. I don't like that they're doing this to him where he's booked strong.
I think he's still too green though.
Then don't put him in these kinds of matches yet. If they're not confident about it, don't do this to him yet. Do like they're doing with Master Wado.
Right.
I think he personally is ready for it. I really do. I think there might be some vanity here because he is the son of Red Shoes. But I need to keep that in mind, too. Right. He is the son of Red Shoes.
Right.
I like that he has, like, this pseudo-Moxley character, though, because Moxley was a big influence on him. So he's coming out in the crowd. He does feel different. And I like Shota, but he's got to win a big one. And I think this was the opportunity to do so because with Zack, does he really need this title at this point?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, does the title need him? The title might need him for a little while longer because to establish some credibility.
Maybe. And who knows what they're going to do in the future. Maybe they'll have a rematch at Dontaku. Maybe people will watch that more than Sakura.
Right.
But this was a fine match. It was a jackknife pin. So Shota did not lose by a definitive. It was a roll up and Shota was up immediately.
So there we go.
I kind of like it. I need to trust them a little bit on the little stepping stones on this, Sometimes I just kind of get myself wrapped up in the I want it now,
Right.
For the IWGP Tag Team Champions, Bishamon defending against Aussie Open, 2 thumbs up. This was an excellent match.
Yep.
God, Bishamon are a great team. They have to continue to put them in title matches because they're in a league ahead. I want them to win the strong open weight tag team champions at this point, even though I think Aussie Open just won those titles.
Right.
No, I think they won those titles at Capital Collision.
Oh, they did? Oh, did they?
I think that was literally yesterday.
Yeah, I know. I saw the match card, but I wasn't. I'm not sure about that one.
I think
they did.
I'm like 90% sure that they did, but this was a great match.
Oh yes,
back and forth, the pacing, it felt important. I can't remember who was the one. One of them got cut really bad.
Oh,
I think it was Kyle Fletcher. He hit his head on the barricade.
That's right.
And it was like this huge thing of blood.
Right.
And he got wrapped up and they're like, go back into the ring. But it was so bad that you literally see it seeping through.
Right.
And it actually helped the match quite a bit, showcasing how tough tough Aussie Open was.
Yep.
But it was Coriolis for Aussie Open to win. Fantastic match. I put it for possible match of the year for this year. It was literally that good. Go out of your way and watch the last 3 matches of this card. So, Hiromu Takahashi, Robbie Eagles for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. 2 thumbs up, by the way.
Yep.
Robbie Eagles joining TMDK was the right call.
Yep.
TMDK, in the last 3 of these big matches, even though they lost, they still have credible challengers for everything.
Oh, yes.
And that's why TMDK works.
Right.
So, you have Robbie Eagles, definite title contender for the future. He's a former junior heavyweight champion.
Yep.
And I liked his reasoning because his reasoning was that he was being looked over in chaos to get title opportunities. He's like, no, I want to be the only option for the juniors for our team.
Right.
Boom, there you go.
Because Chaos has a lot of people in the juniors.
Right. So might as well join TMDK, a newer team, but also let's lump all the Australians together.
Right.
I mean,
it helps because, of course, they are opening they're doing the Taichi thing in New Zealand, so I think it actually makes sense to have a strong group of a lot of Australians
in Japan because that's a Japanese promotion.
Yep, exactly.
So, yeah, that's right. Bad Luck Fale does stuff down there because his dojo is in New Zealand.
Yes, and that's where it's being based out of, I believe.
That's crazy to think that New Japan actually cornered that market before any other promotion because there is literally no wrestling company down there right now.
No, there isn't, and I think New Japan is making a strong case for being down there.
Oh, absolutely. I'll go to Australia for it.
Anyways.
This was a fantastic match. Great back and forth. It was Time Bomb 2 for Hiromu to win.
Yep.
A little bit of a questionable decision, but I feel like they have more confidence with TMDK not having titles instead of just 5 guys.
Right.
Because it's just 5 guys. So,
well, I think they have a little more confidence in that.
But also Yoshinobu is a lot older. I wonder if they're going to at least give him one singles title run just for vanity.
And maybe.
You never know.
Never know.
Because right now, Yoshinobu is the next guy to go for the title. Now, it makes sense given the main event that you have a just 5 guys person taking on an LIJ guy.
Yep. And again, that's part of what I wanted to happen was to have this overarching rivalry between LIJ and just 5 guys.
Exactly. Putting them on the map there. So, and then we have our main event. IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Kazuchi Okada and Sonata. 2 thumbs up. This was a phenomenal
fantastic match. It really solidifies Sonata as kind of the leader of that group. It really puts him on that pedestal.
So, did they ever say a reason why Sonata left LIJ?
I think it was mentioned when he actually did the betrayal, but I don't remember off the top of my head why he left and went over to went over to just 5 guys, but there was a reason that was stated.
Okay, this was a phenomenal match, though.
It was.
Okada has expressed interest in him wanting to do more tag work, which I think is great.
But I think he's also taken some time off, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I mean, new dad, I think he has some injuries that he kind of wants to nurse back to health, and they do not want for Okada to get a really bad injury. He's their freaking cash cow.
Right.
But Sonata put himself in a great position. He felt like he feels like a credible, legitimate threat. But everything about Sonata changed. From gimmick to look to haircut to even his finishing maneuver changed. And it was so needed because he really needed to separate himself away from the Cold Skull.
Right.
So where does Sonata go from here? Oh, by the way, Sonata won with a dead fall. Essentially like an over-exaggerated DDT, but it looked awesome. Who do you think Sonata... I mean, Sonata's facing Hiromu next. Like, that match has already been confirmed.
I think that he is going to be facing off against more LIJ members.
So do you think it will most likely be Hiromu, then Shingo, and then Naito? Or do you think it will be...
Well, this is going to end with the leader. So the rivalry is going to end with Naito. But, I think it's going to go to... Shingo is going to be the one after Hiromu. And then... then I think it's just straight to Naito, right? Unless there's another person I'm missing in the...
The only other person I can think of is Bushi.
Right, but Bushi is a junior.
And then Titan, but Titan is their CMLL representation on there.
So,
but I mean, there's a lot of things you can do with this.
Yeah.
Now, the next challenger for juniors, I mean, if you want to put Hiromu back on there, but I don't think that is. No. I think Yoshinobu's going to beat him, and then it's going to be Yoshinobu and Bushi, because Bushi is a former junior heavyweight. And they have plenty of time to start building Bushi up to something strong. Yeah. So we'll see where it goes. A great Sakura Genesis. Yep. I'm excited for May for Wrestling Dontaku because they've already have a couple of matches set up, and it's a really solid card so far.
But anyways, that's pretty much the way that it ends. Next week, we are going to be covering a couple of pay-per-views.
So we're not covering Rebellion this week. Right. We cannot do the Sunday shows that early, or that late. So we're going to be covering Triple Mania.
Yep.
We're going to be covering... Rebellion, and then I think that Stardom show is that same
day, but then we'll cover it the week after.
Right.
So we're catching up from WrestleMania season. But yeah, that's about it.
So if you did enjoy this video, remember to like the video, or if you enjoyed listening to us on our podcasting platforms, leave a rating. Comment wherever you're listening or watching this on. Subscribe to the channel or follow the channel. Become a patron or follow us on all of our social medias. Links are going to be right there. And as always, be
majestic.